Two videos in a row relating to childbirth. This wasn't on my bingo card for December videos. Anyway, recently Shane Dawson had a surrogate baby delivered. Shane Dawson is married to a man, so obviously they can't have kids together, so they decided to go the surrogate route. Me personally, I'm not that thrilled over this news because I don't think Shane Dawson should be within a 2-mile radius of a minor. I mean, remember all those really disgusting video clips where Shane Dawson said really creepy things about or even towards minors, and a lot of people seem to have forgotten about that because, oh my god, Shane Dawson, he's my favorite YouTuber. Don't you just fucking hate people? But the discourse surrounding Shane Dawson having a surrogate baby has taken a really disgusting turn that I'm not for at all. Right-wingers have taken this opportunity to talk about gay couples having surrogate children as a whole and explain why this is supposedly degenerate. Most notably, the Quartering is speaking out against this. He tweeted, "I'm 100% against surrogacy. I tolerate it for a husband and wife who are biologically unable to have a child." And then Mudahar, some ordinary gamers, replies with, "By that logic, you should also tolerate it for a gay couple that is biologically unable to have a child too as well." And then the Quartering replied back with, "This is a false equivalency. Two men cannot have a baby in any situation. They are no more quote-unquote biologically unable as saying two bicycles also cannot have a baby." Now, my mom is friends with a man who is married to another man. He used to be her co-worker, and they have a surrogate child. Their daughter is, I think, 6 years old at this point, and from what I hear, she lives a very happy, normal life you would expect a little girl to be living, and she has two loving fathers. If there is nothing objectionable going on in the home, then I say, why should I care? And why should any other outsider care? This whole line of thinking that a child needs to be raised by both of their biological parents is so fucking stupid because there are plenty of people out there who were raised by people who weren't their biological parents and they turned out just fine. Is there any actual data that a surrogate child raised by a gay couple lives a worse life compared to other children who are raised by their biological parents? Because the only piece of quote-unquote evidence I've seen used by these people who say children should not be raised by gay couples are these anecdotal news stories covering cases where children have been abused by the gay couples that were raising them. And all I have to say in response is, you don't think there are straight couples out there who abuse the children they're taking care of? Gay people are absolutely capable of abusing children, much like straight people are also absolutely capable of abusing children. It's almost like child abuse is not exclusive to people who ascribe to a certain sexual orientation. The Quartering then tweets, "I have really enraged the pro-child trafficking crowd today." Good. Yes, he likens people having a surrogate child to child trafficking. Child trafficking implies that you are removing a child from an environment they were already in for the sake of exploiting them, not having a child for another couple to raise who are unable to have children themselves. I know the Quartering said that he's not a fan of straight couples having surrogate children either, but it's so obvious that he's not taking issue with the concept of surrogacy, but rather taking issue with the concept of gay people raising children. And it's far from just the Quartering taking issue with this. I've seen so many people say, no, it should be a man and a woman raising a child because that's the way things were intended. Do you really think the child gives a shit? Usually when the child themselves start to think that there's something inherently wrong with the fact that there's two men raising them or two women raising them, it's because of outsider assholes drilling into their head that there's something wrong with that. Maybe they're getting teased at school because of it. Or other adults in their lives are telling them that there's something wrong with that. Or they see stupid shit like this online where a bunch of idiots are maligning the concept of a gay couple raising a child because, oh noes, it goes against their stupid ass values. Parental love is not solely predicated on that child once being your sperm or once being birthed out of you. And if you think it is, then you are severely undervaluing the concept of parental love. If you're with that child through pivotal moments like their first words, their first steps, their first day of school, or anything of the sort, you naturally feel a close bond with them. And if you are an adult figure that they spend their day-to-day life with, that they look up to, and that they're being raised by, I think that is grounds enough have to say that you're their parent, regardless of whether or not you're their biological parent. And again, I don't give a fuck if a child is being raised by two fathers, or two mothers, or one mother, or one father, so long as they live in a loving household where no abuse is taking place. Then it is not my problem. It is not anyone else's problem. Leave these fucking people be. And this isn't even getting into the people who automatically assume a child is being sexually abused just because they're being raised by a gay couple. I'm sorry, but if you look at a normal, happy child who's being raised by a gay couple who loves them and raises them just like any other parent would, and think, oh, they must be getting sexually abused, that speaks volumes of you and not the couple that is raising them, and I advise that you seek help immediately. Look, I get it, Shane Dawson sucks, he should not be around minors, like I said at the beginning of this video, and he certainly should not be a parent with those years worth of videos where he's saying sexually charged remarks about minors, or pretending to jack off to Will Smith's daughter when she was like 10 years old at the time, or instructing his underage fans to twerk for him. There are plenty of valid reasons to go after Shane Dawson, so can we go after him for the right reasons, please? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.